Hey yo, welcome back. This is Ty Ty. So today we're gonna go over common mastering mistakes. Let's get you where you need to be. Alright, so the other day actually I got an email and it was from Waves, and it was like what to listen for sonically when mastering. And I had a couple masters that I wasn't exactly thrilled with how they came out, and this just kind of gives some insight. We all make mistakes from time to time, and we just got to plug it back in, make some adjustments, get it where it needs to be. But let's go ahead and hop in, check out this article, and I'll show you some examples of how to correct this along the way. So this is just the top of the article here. But we'll go ahead and start in with isolating frequency areas. With a lot of things like this, we've all had this issue. It sounds different on different playback systems. We always get the mix done, the master done, run out to the car, see what it sounds like. But from what I have learned here with this specifically, if you're cutting out your mud, you're really taking out those harsh frequencies, it's most of the time going to transfer from system to system. Very, very simply. We'll go ahead and skim through this here real quick. One of the fundamental purposes of mastering is achieving consistent loudness and tone across all potential playback systems: car stereo, club, sound system, cheap headphones, portable Bluetooth speakers, which those are typically mono. And there's another section down below that covers. But yeah, that's kind of enough of that. My suggestion is just make sure you're cutting out that mud, because a lot of lower end speakers really pick up on that, and just cut out that mud. That's going to fix you every time on that. But pops and clicks, bro, it is a big thing. That can easily, and I feel like your average listener may not notice it quite as much, but being an engineer, mixing, mastering, whatever, an artist, you pay attention to those really fine details, and to me personally, it sticks out like a sore thumb. A lot of times those are going to come through your mix. I would suggest putting fades at the beginning and at the end of every clip. That's going to cut down on a lot of that. Make sure recording at the proper buffer size, sample rate, whatever really works for your computer. And then it'll definitely eliminate a lot of that. Now they have their own X-Click. I run RX11. Really cleans it up nice. And I always run them through there even if I'm not noticing them right out the gate, just to kind of cover that basis. Plus it removes mouth noises, all that stuff. Just really cleans up your audio. So definitely keep an eye on that. But fades and buffer size is going to get you right at least 95% of the time. And then mono capability. So we all love a wide, luscious mix. But you go too wide, specifically with those little handheld speakers, they're mono. So if you go too wide, it's going to start cutting it out. But one thing that you can do to try to get around that too, if you have speakers or an interface or the capability in your studio of switching it over to listening to it in mono and just double check it, that's a great thing to do. But this span plugin, if you don't already have it, it's free. It's got this balance down here. So if you're letting your meter get down below 0, it's not transferring over properly in mono. So let's go ahead and take a look and see where that number's at real quick.
I knew you was just trying to talk your own shit. Woke up the next morning in a hotel suite next.
So you see how that's staying in green? Most of the time it's on the higher end, and it's going to fluctuate. I like to get wide mixes. I like to pan things out and throw it all over the place, but you don't want to go too far, specifically with an imager. If you're just cranking that thing all the way up, it's really just going to shave off the sides of your mix when you go and play it on something in mono. So you got to be very careful with that. Now, with unwanted ducking, this was the issue that I had the other day, or pumping too, just kind of compressing wrong when it comes to mastering. I don't really need to get in there and read all that, but I'll just show you an example here, because it's one of the songs that I heard it on. So I use the Shadow Hills on this, and a lot of times for compressors, you'll have this high pass filter, sidechain filter, and you can pick the frequencies gonna trigger on. When you're compressing in the master stage, if you're leaving that all the way down, it's gonna be triggered by your bass. So you're going to get a pump, and depending on how it's hitting, especially with your limiter too, it's going to be reacting to the bass and kind of just pushing everything down underneath that. It's just a really weird sound. It's definitely not what you want.
I'm cut from a different cloth, but I seen what you was trying to do to me. Late nights out on the strip, I seen you trying to pop shit with your friend.
I think that I already kind of cleaned it up, quick and simple, and I might even have went a little too high. But let's go ahead and I'll just kind of go back and forth.
I'm cut from a different cloth, but I seen what you was trying to do to me. Late nights out on the strip, I seen you trying to pop shit with your friend. I ain't pick up the phone, but I knew.
Really pay attention to how the bass is hitting.
I'm cut from a different cloth, but I seen what you was trying to do to me. Late nights out on the strip, I seen you trying to pop shit with your friend.
Really clean that up there. I'm liking how that sounds. That fixes my problem entirely right there with that issue. Definitely takes away some pumping, some ducking. All right, so then moving on to the next thing. Clipping. When you're running a limiter or maximizer or whatever, you have to set a ceiling. And if you're not, when you're pushing your threshold down, that's going to throw everything past zero, clipping, creating distortion. It just sounds horrible. So a lot of times, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, a lot of times too, I'll set mine at -1. And just kind of gives a little extra headroom, especially going through the uploading process for all platforms. It just kind of creates a safe space. That way you get less artifacts when they do get it over on there. All right, so I use master plan a lot. So I got my output up here. I have it at 0.5. And then I'll just kind of go up, turn it up as I go, and we'll see what she sound like.
I'm cut from a different cloth, but I seen what you was trying to do to me. Late nights out on the strip, I seen you trying to pop shit with your friend. I ain't pick up the phone, but I knew you was just trying to talk your shit. Woke up the next morning in a hotel suite next to one of your best friends. You know what I need, and I know what you need too.
So I'm liking how that's sounding there, but like say, let's see, let's bypass that real quick. I'll put I'll just use the L1. So say you don't set the ceiling. Let's see what this does real quick.
I'm cut from a different cloth, but I seen what you was trying to do to me. Late nights out on the strip, I seen you trying to pop shit with your.
It just doesn't sound good. You can hear on the hi-hats and in the bass, it just starts kind of breaking up on the top. So just remember to set your ceiling, and that's really going to help big time. I'll just set this at 1 real quick, and then we'll go ahead and see what it sounds like.
I'm cut from a different cloth, but I seen what you was trying to do to me. Late nights out on the strip, I seen you trying to pop shit with your friend. I ain't pick up the phone, but I knew you was just trying to talk.
Instantly makes it a lot better. Always keep yourself out the red. You should know that if you've been doing this very long at all. But yeah, stay out the red, boys. Don't need that. All right, and then moving on to distorted mid-range. And this goes back to your limiter. If you're pushing it too hard, everybody wants their tracks to be as loud as they possibly can be. But if you push it too hard, you're gonna get distortion. And one of my songs I definitely pushed just a touch too hard, but I'll go ahead and just give an example here with Master Plan, what it's like when you're pushing it just too hard. Granted, I have it set to unity, so just pay attention to the detail of it. This is kind of a safe way to do it. That way you're not just being fooled by the loudness. But yeah, go ahead and listen for some distortion. And typically what I'll do is push it into distortion and then back it off. And then once it's fully clear again, typically that's the sweet spot. Let's go ahead and turn this thing up.
I'm cut from a different cloth, but I seen what you was trying to do to Late nights out on the strip, I seen you tryna pop shit with your friend. I ain't pick up the phone, but I knew you was just.
Can you hear right there? I've noticed since I changed that setting with the high pass in my compressor, I'm able to push it more, but you can hear the bass is starting to really break up.
I'm cut from a different club, but I seen what you was trying to do to me. Late nights out on the strip, I seen you tryna pop shit with your friend.
See how that brought it back to life? I mean, it's really that simple. It's just paying attention to a lot of details. So that's about all they had in the article, but I hope with these little tweaks it can really just help you along the way. I am going to show something real quick, actually, that wasn't in the article, but it'll definitely help with controlling your bass. Alright, so I used to run the brick wall limiter. A lot of times too I'll do just kind of a slope or like a low shelf. But what you want to do is, and you'll hear the difference here, I'll shut this off. The bass is just kind of all over the place. And you get too much energy going down in the low end, it's really going to transfer over more and more noticeably when you're really bringing everything up to levels. So let's go ahead and see without it.
I'm cut from a different club, but I seen what you was trying to do to me. Late nights out on the strip, I seen you tryna pop shit with your friend. I ain't pick up the phone, but I knew you was just trying to talk your shit. Woke up the next morning in a hotel suite next to one of your best friends.
So this is typically what I'll do now. It just kind of saves it just a little bit. Not quite cutting out so much, but it'll tame it. So let's see.
I'm cut from a different club, but I seen what you was trying to do to me. Late nights out on the strip, I seen you tryna pop shit with your friend. I ain't pick up the phone, but I knew you was just trying to talk your shit. Woke up the next morning in a hotel suite next to one of your best friends.
It just allows it to really cut through a lot more. And you know, with span, you can really see the spectrum.
I'm cut from a different club, but I seen what you was trying to do to me.
And I've had beats where the bass is just smacking up here, and like you gotta calm it down if you're wanting to get your whole song up to levels. But I hope this helps y'all. This is Ty Ty bringing you radio quality music from home. I'm gonna be back next Monday. And any questions, comments, concerns, any preferences on some videos you want to see content on in the future, definitely let me know, and I'll do my best to knock it out for you. But I hope you all have a blessed week. Catch you. Peace.